Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm out in the back garden here on the back patio, and I'm about to do a little bit of deadheading with some of my beautiful, absolutely beautiful chrysanthemums. I bought these earlier this year, and I got them shipped to me. Come from a great company called Chrysanthemum Direct. It's a nice company here in the UK. So I bought a lot of different ones. These are out of the Misty series. They have a lot for sale on their website, so go check them out if you get a chance. They ship only in the UK though, so if you're not here, you may not be able to get them. But you can find your own breeders, hopefully, in your own area. But look at this, beautiful petals. Now the great thing about these chrysanthemums is that, of course, this is the autumn, the fall period, and this is when they are at their best. But if you want to have something that look like this at this time of year, you're going to have to be thinking about it back in April, back in May, spring, early spring is when you're going to have to order these and get them planted out. Now these came to me and they were nice little plugs, about 6 inches. These Misty series, if you want to get all these blooms like this, what you have to do is when it's about 6 inches tall, you're going to snip the top out of it, and that's going to cause the plant to branch out just like this. You see these nice branches on these. Look at all those flowers that are coming off there. And so these are different varieties. You see these are kind of coming into bloom now, and these whites are starting to go over a little bit. But I know that if I deadhead this really well, like this one is pretty much done. You only have a couple of days left on that, but you can see the beautiful outer petals. Look at that white, look at that interior, that yellow. That is really beautiful, that creamy white and that yellow. But these are going over, they're pretty much done, but there's still some really great ones on here. Now, if I wanted to clip some of these out and put them in a vase, I could absolutely do that. They would sit in a vase for, I believe, you can easily get a week, if not a little longer if you keep them in a bit of water on these. These will look really great. This is the Misty series. These are kind of these, look at that, pom-pom type blooms. These are doubles, and I think these are going to be singles, but I really love chrysanthemums. Now I got these, I planted them out, put them in some well-aged compost, used a high potash fertilizer the entire year on them, and this is what I got towards the end of the year. But let me show you the other ones I have. So I ordered 3 varieties of chrysanthemums. You have here the Misty series. You can see what these look like. These are large plants. These plants are standing a little under a meter tall because the pots are kind of low. So it's a really large plant. I had to put, of course, supports to keep them upright. They do tend to fall over because these blooms are pretty heavy. But on the other hand, I have these really nice, small, compact, and these are in the Poppin series and in the Brand Petit. These are more what you see in your garden center. Typically, you can only find these at the end of the year. But again, if you order from those breeders early in the season, you can grow them out just like this on your own. I grew these from tiny little plugs this year. Some of them did really great. You see this yellow here did really well. This one did okay. This one did good. But some of these others didn't quite, look at that salmon color, didn't quite get there, a little smaller. But I'm going to carry these over to next year. These are perennial. Once the frost comes, I'm going to take off the tops of these down to about 3 inches and sit them in a shed, keep them nice and cool, and then in the spring, pop them back outside. They should take off growing for me again, just as they've done this year, and they should be much larger next year. Going to add a little more fertilizer and a lot more sun. These do need to be kept in a nice sunny spot. It's possible that I didn't keep some of these in enough sunny location. These did great. These may have been a little too shielded throughout the growing season. So what do you do if you want some really nice chrysanthemums in your own garden? Well, this time of year, the only option you really have is to go down to the garden center and pick up what they have available for you there. But if you're planning for next year, you can already start to look online at the vendors who are selling these. Chrysanthemum Direct is who I use here in the UK. If you're in some other location, check your local online listings or local providers and see if you can find some chrysanthemums. Get those plugs early in the spring. Put them up in a pot, put them in a nice sunny spot, sheltered, and in the fall, you'll have wonderful displays just like this. The benefit of that is that you could get some sizes, shapes, colors, and varieties that you won't be able to find in the garden center, and your garden will look really unique. As I mentioned, this is the Misty series, but look at that bloom. That is phenomenal. Look at that beautiful yellow color. And these are what I'm the most excited about, these large ones. And I have a lot of blooms coming. You see this one here. Look at that. That's just starting to open up, and there's some tiny buds here. So these will be blooming all the way into November, and I deadheaded those, took off those earlier blooms. Look at that, that's going to bloom out, and I have some others here that's going to be blooming out. So these will continue to bloom all the way throughout the month of November, and they've already been blooming. Really, they started in mid to late August. These whites started in late August, and you can see these are going over. You could do that if you want to try to stage them out so that you have blooms over a longer time period. These are pretty much done. Still really beautiful. I'm not going to take them all off, but you can see they're pretty much done. But they've been blooming for a good solid month. So you can expect to get a month and a half out of that. That's the other great thing about chrysanthemums. They bloom and they hold those flowers for such a long time. Hey, if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe. If you love flowers, I love getting our tips about the flowers, especially varieties that I know really well. And I love going to great gardens all around the world. If you find it interesting, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow along. And until next time, take care.